Deja vu.
I'm ready when you are. Welcome everybody, and you ready? We're ready. Welcome everybody to Miami. Big week, Super Bowl week, and a huge fight card here on Thursday night, live and exclusively on Dazn. 2 press conferences for you today. Firstly, the madness of these guys, and then we flip to a World Championship triple header, which is absolutely breathtaking. I think it's one of the strongest cards, I was going to say 2020, it definitely is, but even of last year as well. I'm looking to kickstart a big year on Dazn, and we look forward to doing so with an exciting card on Thursday night. This world that we're living in now of YouTubers, sports stars, reality stars wanting to take part in big fights is an interesting one. Last November, we saw a staggering event at the Staples Center. KSI against Logan Paul. It was one of the biggest subscription drivers for Dazn, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year on UK, on Sky Sports as well. And it's remarkable to see the level of interest and the eyeballs that come in and the new blood that's coming into the sport from fans watching these guys, their heroes, take part in the ring. For me, as a hardcore boxing fan, I think the most important thing is the respect that these guys give the sport. And you'll see a couple of great trainers up here. Firstly, in Vidal, who obviously got the big win with KSI, and also an absolute legend in Shane Mosley as well. These guys have put the work in. They've been up in Big Bear with Jake and Anderson in Vegas as well, putting the hard work in to try and win this fight. As long as they continue to respect the code of boxing, we're happy to welcome this new blood, this new age of fan into the sport. And we've seen that our subscriber numbers, the viewership numbers, who enjoyed the KSI Logan Paul fight, also enjoyed Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz too, who also enjoyed Jacobs against Chavez and other great content that Dazn have been putting out. So this is something that myself and Joe Markowski have taken a little bit of criticism for, but we're not short-sighted. We know there is a method behind this madness. We know that it's working, but at the same time, we know that we must respect the code of this great sport. And here you have 2 guys who have put the work in. I have no idea what's going to happen in this fight. In the KSI Logan Paul fight, I said many times, I think there's a few gifs floating around as well and memes, 10-ounce gloves, someone's getting knocked out. And it was 10-ounce gloves, no headgear. Someone didn't get knocked out. Jake tells me this time that's not the case. And you said to me just then, I see in your eyes, you know I'm going to win. But I've got to say, there's something about you, young man. There is something about you. And I'm not sure yet, but I think you're a tough man. I think you're going to be tough to beat. But one thing I will say is, all the pressure is on you.
Fact.
All right? In this
pressure
fight.
Creates diamonds.
Okay.
Can we give it up for Eddie Hearn, by the way? Great guy.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. But we're going to hear from you guys shortly. Firstly, over to our partner. I'm going to tell him that he's responsible for this new YouTube invasion into boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Markowski from Dazn.
Thanks, Eddie. It's great to be here in Miami during such a big sporting week. I've been here all day, and it's clear that the city's packed with athletes, celebrities, media and brands. And to be fair, so is this room if we're going to count Eddie Hearn as a celebrity. And appropriately, our card is no different. In addition to the championship triple header that Eddie's already mentioned, Thursday's co-main event will see Jake Paul looking to avenge his brother Logan's loss to KSI against this man to my left, Gib potentially on the way to a fight himself with KSI in the future. In terms of the interest this fight is generating for us, our pre-fight show 40 Days has already been viewed more than 4 million times on YouTube. And that's a testament, obviously, to the fan bases that these 2 individuals command. They're businessmen, they're content creators, and for the first time on Thursday night in Miami, they will be professional fighters. The only place you can watch it is on Dazn. Just download the app, simple process, and enjoy. I want to thank the fighters and their coaches and their teams for making the most of this opportunity. Busy week we put you through in terms of media obligations, so we appreciate that. Thank you for the buzz you guys are generating on social. It's a noisy week. We're right at the heart of it, and we look forward to seeing everyone on Thursday night. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Joe. We'll go to their teams now. I'm going to speak to you guys from your seats as well, so if you could pass your mics to your respective trainers. Vidal, firstly, I'll start with you. I think one of the great images of 2019 was you dropping to your knees when KSI got the victory at the Staples Center. Big week, big moment for you guys. We know you're a pro fighter and that's where your future lies, but that was a big moment for the team to get that victory.
100%. You know, we're looking to repeat the same thing in a couple of days. It was a huge win, groundbreaking event. You know, we broke through a lot of doors with it, and it was just great to come out on the winning side. So looking to repeat the same in 2 days. We've never lost, and I intend to keep that going.
Tell us about your charge in Anderson Gibbs. I've seen a little bit of footage. I would say unorthodox is a word that I might use as well. But,
unorthodox.
But I've seen the improvements that he made from his first fight.
Yeah.
And I have to say I turned on to that fight a couple of weeks ago, your first ever fight, and I was thinking, my God, this might be a little bit tricky. The second fight, the improvements you made, and watching you in your camp as well, improving as a fighter.
Definitely. You know, the thing with Gibb is, as I said before in other interviews, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the best boxer in the world because he isn't, but neither was Marcus Maidana, you know, and he beat boxers way superior than him. And I feel like I can compare Gibb to him because he has that rough element and he provides something that I don't think people from his community should have. You know, he has more toughness than the average YouTube guy. And I feel like that's enough for him to beat Jake, combined with pressure, combinations, the chin. You know, I've hit him hard myself on purpose just to test him, and he's taking those shots. And I don't feel like, you know, Jake's going to be able to do much with him.
I think that most people going into the first fight would have said that Logan was perhaps technically more skilled than KSI. And again, the same here with Jake. But you just feel, and a lot in the first fight was about KSI's, you know, robustness, his toughness, his will to win. Is that what it's going to come down to here as well?
That's the thing, you know, the way KSI fought Logan, Gibb fights like that, but more refined because that's his style. You know, JJ didn't show any of that in training. He just said, you know what, on the day, I'm going to battle. And he did, and he got the victory. Gibb fights like that, and he's used to fighting like that. And that's why it's very dangerous for his opponent, Jake.
Thank you, Vidal. Shane, did you ever think that you would be in the corner of something like this, of a moment like this, these new age of fans? I've seen you up in Big Bear.
Yeah,
this young man looks like he's put the work in.
He's definitely put the work in, and you know, Jake is not only he didn't just come to me, just randomly like, oh, Shane, will you train me? It was more, you know, we're more friends than anything. So I've been knowing him for a couple of years now, and you know, I wanted to train him and show him all the ropes of boxing, and he showed me that he could put in the work. He showed me that he really loved the sport of boxing and that he was taking it very seriously. And I'm very happy by the progress that Jake has done in Big Bear, and just the people he's worked with. They're impressed by him. Everybody's impressed by Jake and how he's taken to the boxing world.
Where do you lie on this whole scene? I mean, obviously you are one of the greatest fighters of all time. You have so much history in the sport. There is a lot of mixed feelings about these new age of celebrities, if you like, coming into the sport. They're bringing massive eyeballs to the sport of boxing. We saw that with the KSI Logan Paul fight. But obviously you see it from the inside. You see that these guys are putting the work in and do have the desire.
No, they definitely have the desire, and it's just like anybody that just comes off the street and wants to fight. And I'm not going to train you if you're not putting 100% in, mentally, physically, all the way around. You know, I'm very impressed by Jake, by his athletic ability, by his mentality, how he approaches the fight. It's like he's working harder than a lot of professional fighters that I know that come up there and work with them. He's actually outworking them. So he's definitely put the work in. He looks very good. He's strong, he's fast. I mean, he's ready to go.
I guess a lot of this is down to how both fighters deal with the occasion on the night. Two guys that aren't experienced, you know, like most world champions going through the ropes, and ultimately all the work that goes in is going to come down to Thursday night. People talk about Gibb has to out tough Jake Paul. Do you see that toughness from him in sparring? Do you think that
Oh,
he's
of course.
got the cojones to mix it in there?
Oh, of course. I mean, he's been there with tough guys. I put him to the test. I didn't make it easy for Jake. Like, he has a different mentality, and he doesn't quit. It doesn't matter how hard he's been hit. He's been hit by some of the hardest fighters in the sport at 154, and he didn't quit up in Big Bear. Like, so he's strong. He's ready to go. And you know what I have to say about the YouTube, the whole YouTube thing, boxing thing. It's entertainment. You know, boxing is entertainment, and you know this is a form of entertainment, and it's bringing a lot of new fans and followers to the sport of boxing. Both guys, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for the sport because now it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow.
Thank you, Shane. Anderson, you crazy mofo.
Hello, lad.
Right? You ready? You ready for this? This is a big moment for your career, your life, whatever it is. I remember we was at the KSI Logan Paul press conference in London.
Yeah.
People were throwing all sorts at the stage, and then all of a sudden I see this little man try and jump up on the stage.
Keyword little.
And I was like, who's that? They said it's Gibbs. So I thought I'm going to go and get him up there. You two came face to face, and now it's on.
It's on.
Miami, Thursday night.
That's
the world's
it.
watching. You're going to get in there and fight this man. You ready?
The training camp's done. I've been tested, pushed to my limits, but I'm ready to go to war Thursday.
And obviously, this experience for you, you have boxed before. We know you're 2-0 as a fighter. This is your first pro fight.
Yes, sir.
How do you see this fight going? Are you aware of people saying that he may be technically better than you?
I think that's his aim to go for the technical approach, but when you see me fight, I'm on the rough house shit. It's going to be aggressive, relentless, and I think he knows what's coming.
I think what we saw with Logan Paul and KSI was just that two guys going into an arena who were out of their comfort zone. And once the bell went, everything kind of went out the window, and it was just about who wants it more, who's tougher, who's prepared to hang in there the most. Do you need to take him to the well on Thursday night? Do you need to take him to a bad place? Do you think he has quit in him?
I think he's tried to select his opponents before, and this wasn't his ideal scenario for an occasion. I think he's been dreaming for bigger fights and even picking smaller opponents. So when he comes to fight me, it's definitely going to be a rough night.
When we talk about the build-up to this fight, a lot of the build-up and the sort of point scoring is not about someone who's trained harder or who might be in better shape. It's more about the views and the numbers. And you've been very critical of Jake in that respect, saying that he's done, he's finished. For you, what does this moment mean for you as a YouTuber? Because Jake is a big name. He does have a huge following, but you've kind of come on the blind side here and could become a little bit of a sensation overnight.
Of course, getting this was like, I finessed my way into it. I got it without his choice or being, but when it comes to, wait, repeat the question again, sorry, I forgot. Shit, my bad.
Basically, do you think that he's finished?
There's the risk to reward.
Tell me about Jake Paul.
You hear that laughter? That's what you're going to hear on the night.
Jake Paul
You hear
in a
that laughter? That's
YouTube
what you're going to hear on the night.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Tell me about Jake Paul in a YouTube world. Where is he at right now?
Right now, he is in a dangerous place. The risk for him is incredibly high for this fight. For me, I've got nothing to lose. Right now, I've gone in, I've trained as hard as I can, but Jake is definitely in trouble if he doesn't secure the win.
How bad do you want it, Gib?
How bad do I want it? I want it fucking really bad. That's why I train as hard as I can in Vegas.
Jake, are you done? Are you finished in this YouTube world? I mean, what are you here as? Are you a YouTuber? Are you a fighter?
Yeah, no. So I mean, I'm an entrepreneur at the end of the day. When people talk to me about like views and stuff, I've been off the YouTube wave, but I have Baker's Dozen influencers in the space that I take a percentage of. My merchandising company fulfills over 100 people's merchandise, some of the biggest influencers in the game. To me, I kind of just can do what I want. And that's why I think is what he doesn't understand is why I'm so dangerous in the ring is because I'm choosing to do this. It's something I'm passionate about. And I've caught the boxing bug. And I've been in training camp for the past 5 months, 2-a-days, nonstop. And there's a lot of course, there's a lot of pressure, like Jake Paul has everything to lose, but like I'm a game time player. And I've been in this situation before with Deji. Imagine if Deji would have beat me. I've been in this exact same position before, except the difference is I think that Deji is faster, a better athlete, and a better boxer than Gib. And when Vidal says, earlier he says, I haven't lost as a coach. That's false because you actually did train Deji as well for a period of 2 months before he switched over, but you did train him for the start of his boxing career. So, you know, there's a lot of lies being told from their side. I'm a game time player. Pressure creates diamonds. And tomorrow or 2 days from now, you will see the work that I put in.
I think from a British perspective, what we're trying to say is, and what we're really asking is, yes, you're an entrepreneur. Yes, you've got some percentages from other YouTubers. Yes, you've been around a long time. You have a huge following. But how big are your bollocks? That's a question we want to know, because we don't want to see it now, but I've just got a feeling. I've got a feeling this guy's going to be like. How much do you want it, Jake?
So I wrote a book called You Gotta Want It. It was an Amazon Times bestseller. I have a tattoo right here that says You Gotta Want It. I live my life by that motto. And I actually wanted to be a Navy SEAL before I moved to LA to pursue acting and stuff. And so that mentality, that killer mentality, the only easy day was yesterday. I want it more than anyone in this room combined. There is nothing that this guy can do mentally. Like he's talking about going to war. We can chop it up any single way, but the outcome will remain the same, and that is me winning.
By knockout?
You know, I will see how much heart he has. You know, I think a lot of all I keep on hearing is there's something about this kid, or he's tough, or he's crazy. So, you know, we'll see how far that takes him. I think it's only going 3 rounds. That my coach here thinks that as well. But you know, I do see the heart he has. But I just like, this is boxing. This isn't. We're not measuring hearts here. You know, so. And I would go as far as to say that I have a bigger heart and I have more on the line. So I'm fighting in that ring with more on my back, and that to me is exciting.
You've mentioned this isn't a one-off for you. It's something that you want to focus on and have more pro fights in. Is the plan straight up beat Gib and then fight KSI? Is that what you want?
100%. That's what I mean by like this means so much to me. Is I'm here to avenge like the family name, the Paul name. And after I beat Gib, to me he's a stepping stone, and then I'm going for KSI, and from there, who knows where the sport takes me. But I love it, and it's fun, and I'm good at it. You know, I wouldn't just do something just to fucking do it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you to the trainers. Jake Paul against Anderson Gib this Thursday live on Dazn across America. Do not miss it. Last time out, we had a great undercard, and we had KSI, Logan Paul. That ended up being the most entertaining fight of the night. I think you're going to see the same kind of thing here. No one knows what is going to happen in this fight. I haven't got a clue, but I know it's going to be a lot of fun. Do not miss it. We're going to pose both guys and their teams here now, and they'll be ready to see you at the weigh-in tomorrow, and we will enter our second press conference shortly. Thank you. Careful which one. Guys, we're going to have about 3 or 4 minutes, and for the purpose of the live stream, we're going to be bringing a couple of people in. There he is, Mr. DeBella. I thought this would be good fun for our live stream viewers. Come and sit up here, Lou.
Hey.
All right, mate, how are you?
Good to see you.
Lou, welcome. We're live still on the stream, so there's going to be people talking, but we're going to carry on talking.
Okay. Something amusing, by the way.
Go on.
My
my significant other's here with me, and she was sitting in the room. She's been singing Every Day, Bro, for like 2 days. I was thinking it was just to irritate me, and then I realized she's actually a Jake Paul fan. So.
Does that irritate you, Lou?
No. You know what?
Where are you at with this?
You know, I'm okay with it now because you know what? My concern. I liked everything I heard from these guys right now because it's in the proper spirit. Like, they're not professional prize fighters, boxers, but they're guys learning how to box and enjoying it, and athletes, and they're getting in there with guys of equivalent skill, and they're trying to have some fun, and they got huge followings. To each his own. Yeah. I mean, and this card is sensational from a boxing perspective, and for people that are YouTubers and you know, Instagram people, and you know, there's something to offer for them on this card also. So I'm cool with it.
What does that tell us about boxing, where these guys can rock into an event like this, a world championship triple header, and drive more subscribers, drive more eyeballs to the fight than these great elite athletes might do themselves?
It tells you the power of YouTube, the power of social media, and also that fighters, boxers even, have to realize they're a component of the entertainment industry. And, you know, sports is a subset of entertainment. Boxing is a subset of sports. So if you're a prize fighter, seeing what these guys are doing, make use of YouTube, make use of the Instagram, of Twitter, get out there, interact with your fans as much as you can, because these guys have become superstars, and they're printing money.
We go through that World Championship triple header. We'll come to your charge, Tevin Farmer, shortly. Demetrius Andre, a lot of people don't know a great deal about Luke Keeler, tough Irishman, good trainer in Peter Taylor, Katie Taylor's father. How good is Demetrius Andre? I mean,
I think he's, as a pure boxer, in the top couple of fighters in the world in terms of just pure boxing intellect and boxing ability. You know, I think the reason that this should be fun for as long as it goes, Luke's a brave guy, and Luke throws down. Luke's going to come right at him. Luke's going to try to do what he can to hurt him and make it a fight, and he's going to try to win. And you know what? People want to see how Demetrius reacts to a guy that's going to come right at him, and whether Demetrius takes a chance or two and maybe tries to hurt Luke. It's going to be an interesting fight. Look, the only reason, it's not just Andrade, the reason Andrade hasn't had a huge fight is because the other guys in his division know what they're facing. He is a master boxer and an incredibly hard win for anybody. Maybe really the most impossible win for anybody at middleweight. And guys aren't running toward him. And he's a hard guy to beat.
That's what we want to see. We want to see him under pressure.
And I think that Luke's going to pressure him for as long as the fight goes.
Of course, Tevin Farmer against Joe Diaz, for me, I would say one of the fights of the year. I mean, we're only in January, but... Yeah. You know, this is a big moment for your guy. I was looking at some of the stats earlier. The activity that he's had, you know, is probably the most active I've seen of any world championship.
And that's thanks, frankly, to you and Matchroom and to Dazn for keeping him one of the most active champions in boxing. They wanted this fight. Joe wanted this fight. He needs to win this fight. It's his third shot at a world title. Tevin needs to win this fight because he wants to be a star. And through no fault of his own, you know, he's been waiting for the biggest fight he can get. This is now the biggest fight he's ever had.
This is the fight, isn't it? This is the fight.
This is the fight for Tevin to make his statement.
Danny Roman against Akhmadaliev. I mean, this is just
now,
one that will go
you can help me pronounce the opponent's name. I know the kid from Uzbekistan can fight his rear end off. That's a terrific fight. That is a fight purist's fight. That is an unbelievable fight. If you watch videotape of both these guys, that's going to be a war. This is a great show from top to bottom, and then you got a lot of your young talent on the show.
Sims Jr. as well.
Right, and Sims is a terrific talent. The kid from Houston, the light Ammo is a terrific talent.
Spino, Otha Jones.
You got Otha Jones. It's loaded with young talent. And then you got Amanda Serrano, who's getting some activity in anticipation of the Super Bowl of women's boxing that we hope will be next, assuming everything goes well.
The big one.
On Thursday night.
Finally, before we start the main press conference, your thoughts on the passing of Kobe Bryant. I mean, again, sometimes these guys, you know, lose their life so sadly, and I didn't even really follow basketball, but you listen to their story, you see the pictures of their family, and you feel like you knew them.
You know, well, we sort of did, because everybody who's followed basketball grew up with him and one of the greatest players ever to dribble a basketball or shoot it. And truly in Los Angeles and California, particularly in L.A., they lost, you know, their icon. And a whole generation of sports fans lost their icon. And also a guy that, you know, it's so the sadness of him, the other people on the plane, the young girls, his daughter, a horribly sad situation, and one that's really captivated in an emotional way an entire world of sports and an entire world, frankly. And it's a sad thing, and I know our prayers go out to Kobe and everyone that loved him and his daughter and his family and the other people that perished. I work in baseball as well as boxing, and there was a great baseball coach that lost his wife and daughter on the same flight, Altobelli, nice guy. I met him a few times, and very sad thing for everybody, and our prayers are with everybody I know.
Thank you, Lou. Thanks all. We're going to break now for 1 minute. We'll be back on the live stream with the main event press conference. Thank you.
You'll be here when we do the translate. We'll go over there. Okay,
Good, mate. Yeah. Ready?
Where's
Ready?
JoJo?
Well, you've seen it all now, mate. It's going to be a mad week, busy week.
We'll do when he's up there. What's your name? Kevin. Marcos Gonzalez. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah. Quite weird. It's purpose built for the Super Bowl, so it's like quite cool. So it's like couple of hours on the floor and like these boxes all around, so I did it well, but yeah.
They don't have a look at.
No. All right, yeah. Hey, mate.
Okay. Yes, sir. Demetrius is here. I don't know where MJ is. Jojo's there. He's doing it. Okay.
Are you serious?
No, afterwards.
Serious? Oh no, you put it up. That's why. Let me see. Let me see.
It's definitely the most comfortable press conference I've ever seen. That.
Wow. Oh, now I wonder if mine can touch. You think mine can touch? Oh no.
Hey.
Shit.
Okay. Let's just go find it. Where's MJ? Aquadalia? Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, come on, MJ.
5, 6.
Good?
That's good.
Good? Follow me, man.
What's up, lady? What's up, bro?
Excuse me, guys.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I was going to say.
Guys, can we take our seats?
Take your seats, please, guys. About to start. Thank you. Oh, no, sorry. Hi everyone, welcome back. Now this is what you call a fight card. Unbelievable night of World Championship boxing. World Championship triple header coming to you live on Dazn this Thursday from Miami. Super Bowl week. So much on the line for these guys. So many other great talents that we're going to be bringing up as well, which we can't even fit on this stage up here. Just a great, great card. When we look beneath these World Championship fights, so much talent as well. Of course, it's a pleasure to have 7-division world champion Amanda Serrano here added to the card, closing in on a fight, as Lou DiBella said, the Super Bowl of women's boxing against Katie Taylor. Not long now, guys. Avril Mathy, young female fighter coming through, and some of our elite young fighters who we're very, very proud of. Arthur Biaslanov, top young fighter. Ofer Jones, looking forward to seeing you back in action. Ammo, can't wait to see you this Thursday night. And Alexis Espino, about time. We're ready for a big 2020. Great to see you. We're going to hear from all you guys shortly as well. When you look at this main stage, this card, I think, is so underrated. We know that everybody in boxing talks about the quality of this card, but even away from the World Championships as well. Anthony Sims Jr., the magician, taking his big first step up against Alfredo Angulo, based here in Miami. WBO Latino title on the line. It is a great 168-pound fight. And then the 3 World Championship fights are all breathtaking. Danny Roman, who is one of, again, I say, the most underrated world champions in boxing today. The unified WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight world champion. We saw him in probably the fight of 2019, unification fight against TJ Devin. This time, his mandatory challenger for the WBA world title, Murajon Akhmadaliev. This young man is one of the most exciting young fighters in world boxing today. Part of World of Boxing, I want to thank Vadim Kornilov and Andrei Rybinski. If you know your boxing, if you've watched your tapes, watch these two guys. It is going to be an absolute war for the unified super bantamweight championship of the world. For me, you know, one of the fights on the card, Tevin Farmer against Joe Diaz. This fight's been brewing for a long, long time. It's been a pleasure working with Tevin Farmer and Lou DiBella, the most active world champion in boxing today. His first major breakout fight against a great, great young fighter in Joe Diaz. I want to thank Golden Boy for all their cooperation on this fight. I'm so pleased you guys just said exactly what you said you were going to do last time you come face to face, which was get this fight on. This is a real, real joy for fight fans to see this fight. Demetrius Andre against Luke Keeler, the WBO World Middleweight Championship. A lot of people saying Demetrius Andre, the best 160-pounder in the world today. Everybody seems to come in with a plan against Demetrius Andre, whether it's Akavov, whether it's Maciek Zulecki. They can't win rounds against him. They can't win minutes against him. They can't win seconds against him, let alone win a fight against him. This time, he has an interesting opponent, someone I know a lot more about than the others. Luke Keeler, WBO ranked #2, very tough, very game, the absolute opportunity of a lifetime. And if you know anything about Ireland, if Luke Keeler pulls this off, he will go home as an absolute hero. Great trainer in Peter Taylor, great team in MTK Global as well. And this is a great, great underrated fight. Luke Keeler is going to be giving it everything to try and become world champion on Thursday night against the excellent Demetrius Andre. Before we bring some guys up to the stage, I want to pass over to our partner, of course, Joe Markowski from Dazn. Round of applause for Joe and all the fighters that we introduced. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie, and it's good to be back at it in 2020. In 2019, our first full year in boxing here in the United States, I'm proud to say Dazn was home to every single one of ESPN's year-end boxing awards. Fighter of the Year, Fight of the Year, Round of the Year, Knockout of the Year, and last but not least, Prospect of the Year. We look forward to delivering another stellar year in 2020 to our subscribers, and to kick things off, this week's championship triple header marks the deepest card of the short boxing year so far. As Eddie said, Demetrius Andre looking to make a big statement on a big stage and lure the biggest names in the division into what will be career-defining matchups later in the year. Tevin Farmer and Joe Diaz, a mouth-watering clash, complete grudge match. Looking forward to that one. A guy in Danny Roman, as Eddie said, who's been a DAZN fighter since our DAZN launch, putting both of his belts on the line against a hungry, undefeated fighter in Akhmadoliev. We appreciate all of these fighters for their commitment. It's a big week, but we're cutting through. We're blending worlds. And Thursday night, week of the Super Bowl, you can ask for a bigger stage. So thank you to everyone in attendance, and we'll see you all on Thursday night.
Thank you, Joe. When we talk about women's boxing, as we said, the fight of the year, the century, maybe the entire sport could be approaching us in Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano, but so many young fighters are coming through as well. Terry Harper, one of our most exciting charges in the UK, fights for the WBC world title next week against Eva Wallstrom. Shannon Courtenay, so many young fighters on our roster, and I'm delighted to welcome up a young lady who has embarked on a career. She's at early stages of her career, already undefeated, part of the MTK team and based here in Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, Avril Matthew.
Hello.
Go for it. The stage is yours.
Hi guys, thanks for coming. I'm really excited to be fighting on this show. It's a huge fight show in Miami, probably one of the biggest that's ever come here. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing night. And I'm, just super thrilled to be fighting alongside these guys.
Woo! Thank you, Avril. And now a young fighter, hungry individual, one of the top young prospects I've seen coming out of Canada, Arthur Biaslanov.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out. First of all, I want to say Miami. First time here, beautiful place, great atmosphere. I want to thank Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, for always being well organized and always having top-notch shows. I also want to thank my manager, Keith Conley, and my boxing team. We had a great training camp, and we're more than ready. Come Thursday night, we'll show you why they call me the Wolf. Thank you.
I want to now bring up a young man from Houston, Texas. This guy is a real character. Punches so hard, such a limited amateur career, but just flew through the USA rankings. I believe this man is a former world champion for sure. Great personality, great individual. You do not want to miss him fight on Thursday night. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Ammo Williams.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to say, going through the amateurs so fast, I had to just find a way to get the job done, win the fights. But now I got a lot of time to, relax and learn my style, and I've got a lot more resources, more coaches, better sparring and things like that, where I can actually develop my own style. And this year, this decade is going to be my decade, because now I'm not just going to finish the job. I'm going to let my new style emerge that I'm bringing to the game, and I'm bringing something new that the new generation will want to mimic. I think we see a lot of the same things in the sport today, and just like Matchroom is doing, I want to do something very innovative for the sport, and it's time. It's time for Emma to come out and do something new. So thank you guys for checking me out all the time and watching, and everybody who's going to be there Thursday night, expect fireworks.
Well done, Ammo. This young man I'm about to bring up now is in the Robert Garcia gym. I think at this point we should also remind ourselves of the thrilling fight card we have on February the 29th in the Ford Center in Frisco, Dallas, where Mikey Garcia will fight Jesse Vargas. Also, Cal Yafai will defend his world championship against Chocolatito. And our new star from Mexico, Julio Cesar Martinez, will defend his WBC flyweight championship against Wales's Jay Harris as well. Joseph Parker, Murat Gassiev on the card as well. February 29th on Dazn. It's a banger. Also want to acknowledge at this time, probably the most exciting young fighter. We can't even call him an exciting young fighter anymore, because he is a world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the outstanding future Hall of Famer, future multi-weight world champion, future superstar, Devin Haney, ladies and gentlemen, in the house here. Don't worry, you don't have to come and talk. It's fine. It's fine. We know you're shy. All right? This man out of Robert Garcia's gym is an outstanding young fighter. Like Ammo Williams, had a limited amateur background, but has already come through being very, very exciting. Huge puncher. Such an exciting young talent. Ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Alexis Espino.
Good afternoon, everybody. I haven't been like that fighting a lot because of my last canceled fights. Not to me, but due to my other opponents. And I've had a lot of time to been working on different things that I wanna show you guys. Shout out to everybody that supports me and always sees my fights and knows that I'm good. I'm real excited for this fight. This is my first time in Miami, and I'm here to put on a show. And you guys gonna see me. You guys gonna see something different, because I'm different, and I believe that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. Alexis also part of the February 29th card in Dallas, coming through on Thursday night cleanly. This young man has got boxing in his blood out of the Soul City gym. One of the top young fighters. He's already boxed stateside here as a pro, and also in London. We flew him over. He was absolutely electric, lit up York Hall in Bethnal Green. The UK fans love him. The US fans love him as well. He's got a huge future in the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, from Toledo, Ohio, Otha Jones.
Good afternoon. Let me adjust this. That's good. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming out. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Split Team Management. Shout out to Soul City Boxing. Shout out to Dazn. Shout out to Eddie for getting me on his card. Shout out to my sister that came out and supported me. You know, who just earned and solidified the spot on the USA team for the Olympics. Well, where do I start, man? A lot of good talent on this card. We got the slick Tevin Farmer, Demetrius Andre. Hold on, a little backstory. I was at the Devin Haney fight when he first got his title. Yeah, I see you. Shout out to Devin Haney too. I think I was getting something to drink, and I seen Demetrius Andre. You know, he's like, "Hey, Otha, I'm talking to me. You know me?" I was just shocked, and you know, it's good to be on this card with him, and good to show my talent with all these good talents, and I'm ready to show that I'm one among these talents, all up here, just like they up here. I'm gonna be up here one day just like them, and I'm gonna show that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ofer, and thanks all the young members of the team. It's always a pleasure to work with you guys. So excited about your futures. This young lady is definitely not a prospect. She has already established herself as one of the biggest stars in the sport, male or female. It's irrelevant. 7-division world champion, Amanda Serrano.
Hey guys, I know this is a last minute thing. I just found out last week I'm on the show, and who wouldn't want to be on this incredible show with these great champions? And I'm going to show I'm one of these great champions. Thank you so much, Lou DiBella, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, and DAZN for squeezing me in this great show. And come Thursday night, gonna be a great fight. I'm ready. I was training for an MMA fight, but I got canceled, so I squeezed my way in here. And come Thursday, I'm gonna do like I always do, give a hell of a show. And once I pass this fight, then it's Katie Taylor. Take me to UK. Yeah. I don't mind. So let's get to this one first.
Thank you, Amanda. We join everybody here on the top stage now. And again, this is an interesting fight, WBO Latino Super Middleweight Championship. Anthony Sims Jr., what a fighter, what a character, but now it gets very, very real. This is a proper fight to take him to the world rankings, to take him to World Championship fights in 2020. His opponent, the current WBO Latino champion, Alfredo Angulo. Roma Angulo. Roma Alfredo. It's fine, we got a translator, no problem.
Right here.
Yeah. Buenas tardes aquí a todos los presentes. Primero que todo, muy agradecido con Dios por esta oportunidad y con todos los representantes que han hecho que esta pelea se lleve a cabo. Y pues nada, muy contento y esperamos hacer una excelente pelea, brindar un bonito espectáculo a todos los presentes y a los que puedan ver la transmisión a través de Dazn. Muchísimas gracias por esta oportunidad y esperamos seguir aquí dándoles unas muy buenas peleas y un muy buen espectáculo. Gracias.
All right, I'll give it a try. Very happy to be here. First of all, thank God for this opportunity. Looking forward to giving a great show in front of all these great boxers. And I look forward to giving my best. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Roma. Thank you, Roma. As I said, this young man, they call him the magician. If you ever see him train, watch those feet. He's a joy to watch. And now, as I said before, he's been a pleasure to work with. He's boxed all around the world, boxed in the UK, has a huge fan base in the UK. I believe he can be a major, major star of the sport. And now it's time to get real in these big fights and see what he's made of. And we believe plenty. Ladies and gentlemen, a magician, Anthony Sims Jr.
What's up with it? Since we're telling stories, I got a story about Devin Haney. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tell the story real quick. So I'm at Devin's house, kicking it. And I walk by and I say, man, it's a nice fox statue you got right here. And he's like, we ain't got a fox statue. I'm like, it's right here. I'm looking at it. So I turn around And I look back and it's gone, right? So I look up and it's up on the wall. And I'm like, man, get me a broom. I'm about to knock this boy right out the window. She starts screaming and stuff. I'm like, man, calm down. I got this. Just line it up. So I hit it, knock it into the pool. His dad gets home and don't believe there's a fox in the house. He thought I was just breaking shit. Yeah. So that's my story. But thank you, Dazn. Thank you, Matchroom. Thank you for the opportunity. You know I bring the funk in the trunk with the skunk and all that junk. I like to have a good time, sticking and moving and grooving. And for those who don't know, yes, I am Latino. Yes, I know. My mother's Cuban. For my Latinos, para mis Latinos, gracias por la oportunidad. Mi español es muy malo. Pero mi español es muy malo porque mi madre no enseñó mi español. Pero ella enseñó mi la pelea. Sí. Gracias, WBO, Dazn, Eddie, Matchroom, everyone again. All my UK mates, I love you guys. You know, lemon squeezer bros, love you guys. Yes, right, mate. And, you know, they always talk about me fighting better opposition. It's my opportunity. I feel like this is my time, and it's come. I'm well prepared. And expect a funky, groovy night, baby, yeah. Oh, gracias.
Well done, Anthony. Okay, we go to our World Championship fights. As I said before, this fight is, for me, could steal the show on the card. The WBA, the IBF, World Super Bantamweight Championships against the fine champion, Daniel Roman, and Murodjon Akhmadaliev, one of the most talented amateur fighters coming out in recent times out of the Uzbekistan team. Has already looked sensational as a professional. And as I said, Danny Roman coming off the back of a fight of the year against TJ Haney. Welcome up to the stage now, the challenger for the WBA and IBF World Super Bantamweight Championship, Murodjon Akhmadaliev.
Ассаламу алейкум всем. Хочу поблагодарить свой менеджер, промоутер Андрей Ганчбинский, Вадим Корнилов, мой другу, брату Алику. И большое спасибо Эдихиру, Матчрум. Увидимся 30-го. Всем большое спасибо.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to support this event. I want to thank my promoter, World of Boxing, and Andrei Rubinsky, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, my manager, Vadim Kornilov, all my team, my coaches. Thank you so much for showing up, and see you January 30.
Thank you, Murodjon. And now we move to the champion. I want to say a special thank you to Alex Campanova and Thompson Boxing as well, our partners, on what has been a great run for this individual. Like I said, one of the first fighters to sign to Matchroom Boxing USA and Dazn, coming off the back of a Fight of the Year contender. Ladies and gentlemen, the current WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight World Champion, Danny Roman.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Eddie Hearns, Matchroom Boxing, and Thompson Boxing for making this possible. I'm excited to be among champions, the card with 3 world championships on the line. And you know what? With all due respect for the champions and the fighters, you know, but I'm gonna make it my night. I'm gonna be the fight of the night. And thank you all. And my respect for my opponent. He's a hungry fighter, but you know, I became a unified champion last year in April, and we're going to keep it like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Murodjon. It's going to be a great, great fight. This is also a great, great fight. I remember being at the Danny Jacobs and Canelo fight, and these two came together face to face. We promised we'd make this fight. We've got it. Again, thank you to Golden Boy for stepping up and making this fight. Thank you to Joe Diaz, his manager and team as well, for making this fight. And Tevin Farmer, who, you know, I've known him for a long, long time. When you think about success stories, and you can even call it a comeback story, you know, this guy lost many fights on the way through. He never quit. He kept going. He improved. And now I believe he is a great example to young fighters about work ethic, about always believing in himself. And he now stands as the most active world champion in boxing today, as the IBF Super Featherweight World Champion. But on Thursday night, he has by far the biggest test of his career so far. One of the top amateurs of the code previously, now former world title challenger and an excellent fighter who has had a great camp, ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger for the IBF Super Featherweight World Championship, Joe Diaz.
What's going on, everyone? First off, I want to thank Eddie Hearn. I want to thank Joe, Dazn, my manager, Ralph Heredia, Golden Boy Promotions, my father, all my team, Joel, Daryl Hudson, for getting me ready for this fight. It's the toughest fight to date. I know that this is a big fight. It's a big fight for myself, and it's a big fight for just my journey and my career. I've been through a lot of ups and downs in my career, been through a lot these past few years, and that made me the person that I am today and the fighter that I am today, both physically and mentally. And I'm mentally prepared for Tevin Farmer. I know that Tevin Farmer is a hell of a fighter. I know that he's a very slick defensive fighter. But come Thursday night, I'm ready to dethrone him. I know that he's already made his 4th defense. This is his 5th defense. And there's a lot to lose. There's a lot at stake for both of us. I mean, it's sink or swim for me. And it's a lot to lose for him as well, because he has a lot on the line. He's been talking a lot of shit. I've been talking a lot of shit. So we're both going to be backing it up. We're both going to be duking it out. So I'm really excited for this fight, man. I'm excited that we both finally agreed to all the terms and that this fight is actually being made on such a big weekend, Super Bowl weekend, fight week, on such a big card. It's just history in the making, and I'm just happy to be alive and to be a part of it. Tevin Farmer, I hope you're sleeping with that bout, man, because 2 more days, that shit's going to be mine. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jojo. Before we hear from Tevin, I'm going to call up his co-promoter, Lou DiBella, to say a few words. It's been a pleasure working with Lou. I speak to Lou probably 2 or 3 times a day, and that's along with the 8 or 9 missed calls I also get from Lou to moan at me about something else. But he's very passionate at what he does. He works hard for his fighters. Coming up to the Hall of Fame as well. Been in the sport of boxing a long, long time, and he's ready to go with his charge on Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, Lou DiBella.
Thank you, Ed. There's a tremendous amount of boxing talent to my left and to my right, and there's also Joe Markovsky. No, this is an unbelievable card, and Joe and Dazn should be proud of putting it together. It's got something for everybody. There was a press conference right before this with the YouTube dudes, and there's a lot of people I know that want to see that. It's getting a lot of heat. There's talent from the second the first bell rings and the first match of the night going through, and there are tremendous fights, and I think the best fight of the night could very well be Joe and Tevin. I got tremendous respect for this kid. He can fight his rear end off. He never gives less than 110%. He comes forward, he makes a fight. He asked for this fight, he made it happen. Tevin's not one to walk away from a challenge, and Tevin got on an airplane to get in this kid's face. And that's frankly because Tevin knew something. He needed a big fight. He needed a guy to fight that was going to make some noise, that was going to get the attention of the boxing industry and give him the credit he deserves for the great fighter I think he is, and he knows he is. And this kid's going to bring it, and it's going to be a war. And that's what it's all about. Let's have some fun. Look forward to Thursday night, Miami Fight Night. Thank you all. And the IBF champion of the world at 130 pounds, Tevin Farmer.
I ain't got much to say today. You know, every time I come out to speak, I have a lot to say. Today I keep it real simple. First I'm going to start off by saying I'm going to beat JoJo ass flat out. I felt like I'm at another level. But I want to thank Eddie Hearn, Lou DiBella, Matchroom, and Dazn for giving me the opportunity to be active and be on this big card. This is such a big card. There's a lot of talent on this card. When I first heard about this card and the people that was on the card, I'm like, wow, it's amazing to fight with these guys. I know these guys are probably saying the same thing about me. It's amazing to be on here with me, but it's amazing to be on here with them. I feel amazing. I don't feel drained. I don't feel sucked in. I don't feel dried out. As y'all can see, I still got my water. A day before the weigh-in, my weight is on point. I'm already on weight. And Miami weekend, it's going to be crazy. I hope JoJo ready because I'm ready. I've been ready. And when he got up here, I feel like he should have thanked me too because I'm the one who gave him the opportunity to fight, you know. I could have fought somebody else, but I wanted to fight him. He a hell of a fighter. And I think he's going to bring it. I hope he will. Because honestly, I'm tired of sweeping people out. I'm tired of killing everybody every round. I'm looking for a challenge. And I'm hoping to be him. I hope we get a fighter tonight. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be a clean sweep. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Tevin and Jojo. It's going to be a great fight, IBF Super Featherweight Championship of the World. We now move to the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. And there's going to be a little bit of support in the house from Ireland on Thursday night for Luke Keeler. I was on the plane today. There was 7 or 8 coming in, more coming in tomorrow. There's going to be a nice bit of noise in the arena for him. We've known Luke Keeler a long time. He was on one of our shows once. He had one of the best 2-round fights I've ever seen against Tom Duran. Unfortunately, he battered Tom Duran from pillar to post, then walked onto a left hook from nowhere to lose that fight. And I always felt that he was an exceptional talent that could go on and challenge for world titles. But when he took that loss, I wasn't sure whether he'd come back. The comeback has been exceptional. He's been virtually faultless ever since. He's climbed his way up to the WBO rankings. Now sits at number 2 after a dominating performance over Luis Arias last time out, who's a good fighter in his own right as well. The challenger on Thursday night from Ireland, Luke Keeler.
Yeah, just thanks everyone for coming. Thank me team, Eddie for putting me on the show, Matchroom, MTK, me coach Pete Taylor. You might look at my record and think like it's a tale of two halves. The last 2 years I've went full time. Before that I worked, and I wasn't the same for you, you know. So some people are looking at this as an easy touch for Andrade, but I'm on a different level altogether, even since the last fight. Andrade, he stepped up to middleweight and he hasn't been performing, you know. He's calling himself the greatest, but he hasn't shown it, you know. And I'm going to prove now, Thursday night, that he's not the greatest, you know. He's not this guy. I label him delusional, and he got a bit upset about that. I think I'm getting under his skin. But it's just the facts, you know. He's not producing at middleweight, and I'm just coming into me prime. I'm 32, but I'm fresh, you know. I think this long 10 years as a pro for Andrade has slowed him down. Like I don't see him producing. He's not entertaining for the fans, you know. He's struggling, and like he's talking that he's the greatest, and it's not happening, you know. And that little moving around is not going to do any good on Thursday night. I'm going to take the belt home to Ireland, and I look forward to pulling off the upset. Thanks.
Thank you, Luke. The man they say is maybe the most avoided man in world boxing today, making another defence of his world title, 2-division, 3-time world champion, current reigning WBO middleweight champion of the world, Demetrius Boo Boo Andre.
Luke, I am your father.
Bad.
Miami. Nah. Getting jiggy with it. Cheer. Listen, man, it's an honor for me to be here. And everybody else, too. It's an honor to be here on this card, man. Listen, we're punching off Miami weekend, Super Bowl weekend. I mean, it's great. You know, it definitely feel like some Will Smith in here right now. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Miami where the players play all night, all day, big day. I welcome to Miami. Aye. I'm working on it, man. But nah, I mean, listen, you know, Luke Keeler, just like everybody else, I say the same old thing. They always got the game plan. They always got the strategy, but they always end up short. Training camp was great. Spent some time down here in Miami. It's like my second home. And listen, I'm ready to, you know, do what we've been doing. That's winning, putting on beautiful boxing, you know, exposing people to the talent that's on this card. It's going to be great. God bless everybody on the card. I hope everybody do their thing. You know, they walk out the ring as they come in. And let's put on a show, man. That's it. You know? And Luke, I am your father. I am your father, Luke. Unfortunately.
Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you for everyone to attending today. We're going to have head-to-heads with the championship fights up here now on the stage. Tomorrow, be ready for the weigh-in, after party as well, on us, I believe. We're paying for that, right? Oh, dear. Make sure you're there to enjoy yourself, Super Bowl week. Do not miss this card. If you haven't got DAZN yet, what on earth are you doing? By far the best value for fight fans in world, the best schedule in world boxing, and we kick off a massive 2020 with an exceptional fight card, World Championship triple header, Miami Thursday night. Don't miss it. Thanks for tuning in.
Never that.